Okay, I think I started recording. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I told you guys last week I was going to go over the three-way call and the cost conversation, but Delray had me do that Sunday night on the Fast Track to Executive, so I figure why would I repeat that when you could go watch that video? So if you didn't see that, go on the Transform Your Life business page, type in Fast Track Call or my name and you'll see it, and that's exactly what I covered, so I'm not going to repeat it because you guys are capable of going back and doing that. I got to quick change the screen. There. I think I got it. Okay. Oh, those of you for the December 16th, that's Saturday, this Saturday, if you haven't taken the test, make sure you do that. So Karen can have all of that information. I haven't talked to her, so I don't know who's all left to do it, but she had reached out a few days ago to just have me remind you guys. Okay, so since I'm not going over what I was going to, I'm going to go over the top 5 ways to increase your productivity. Because in Isagenix, you can do a lot of learning and be on calls and get motivated, and you can listen to podcasts. But how do you get actually into productivity? So these are the top 5 ways to increase your productivity. So number 1, you have to realize that you, good topic, that you are your own business owner. So as your own business owner, it's all on you. So you need to divorce everybody else. You need to divorce your upline. This is your business. Now, what's great about this is we have a whole entire team to help us, but it ultimately is each one of our businesses, right? So you need to treat it like a job. That means, number 1, treat it like a job. Set your hours for your activity. Okay, so you're actually setting your hours. So you actually need to go in your planner, however far in advance, so you know in that week, and set what hours you are going to work this as a business. It doesn't matter if you only have an hour a day, if you have 15 minutes a day, but you're setting your hours, and it's non-negotiable. It's just like anything else. You have an appointment at the dentist, you're going to go. Okay, so in your calendar, you have your hours set. So when you have your set hours, that's your time for activity. So that means like reach outs, virtual events, 3-way calls. It doesn't mean podcasts. It doesn't mean social media posts. It means actual action. Okay, so that's number 1. You have to treat it like a job. Set your hours. Number 2, the hours you set are non-negotiable. Your calendar is your boss. So your calendar is your boss. You set your hours, but now you have to stick to what you wrote down on your calendar. And team calls they're really, if you want to grow this, they're non-negotiable. Does it mean you can miss one? Of course, but it's non-negotiable to go watch them. And it's not someone's responsibility to send it to you, but it's part of your responsibility to be on the team calls. The problem is that people that are struggling are never the ones on the team calls that need to be, and that's why they're struggling. So team calls are always non-negotiable. You need to, if you don't watch it live, catch up with it later. We have our morning Zooms, 7:30 to 7:45 a.m. They are always so good, and if you miss it, they're always posted. You can always catch up on them. You know, it's just staying plugged in. And if you're not plugged in, it's like your cell phone. Eventually it's going to die. Like you have to recharge it. It has to stay plugged in. What else? Oh, learning versus action. So I would say right now, as you have your passion planner or whatever you have, start mapping out 2018. So you have your 4 core events. You find out isagenixevents.com. You write down when those are. You have them in your calendar. Look at Mindy all organized there. You have that right now. And then when you have the 4 core events, and you can plug in local events, when would be good times to do your local events. And that's what we do right now. We have a little bit left of 2017, so now we're planning for 2018, and you have to be planning ahead. That's just how it works. Number 3, maximizing your time. So let's say you have your set hours in your calendar. So during the set hours, what are you actually doing? So in your set hours, block it into 15-minute chunks. Okay? 15-minute chunks are great. You can actually keep your attention for 15 minutes, and you're very focused on specific things during those 15 minutes. So for example, I wrote down different chunks. So let's say I have 2 hours today to work Isagenix. I'm going to do 15-minute blocks. It doesn't mean I have to do 2 hours all at one time, but in my 15-minute blocks, it could be that I have my list out of people I need to follow up with. I have my list of new reach outs I want to do. Okay, that's a 15-minute block of only new reach outs, a 15-minute block of follow-ups. Maybe it's a 15-minute block of inviting people to the next event. Maybe it's a 15-minute block of going through your back office reports, okay? And then you block off 15 minutes for 3-way calls. But have very specific within your hours what you're actually doing. Because if you have it written from 2 to 4, you're going to work Isagenix. What are you doing to work Isagenix? But when you have very focused chunks, then you know what you're doing. So the first 15 minutes, yep, I have my new reach outs. Yep, boom, 15 minutes is over. I did that. Back office, all right, I'm going into my back office. Every day you should be going into your back office. You should be looking at things, whose auto ships are going out. You should be looking at their BV. Hey, actually, I just wanted to reach out. I just enrolled somebody. They are on your leg. You actually just gained all of their volume. I wanted to explain this to you. You actually have a bunch of loyalty points banked up. It's really understanding your back office and taking the time to dig into it. And that should be part of your day. So if you're taking notes on a sheet of paper, I want you to have a left column and a right column and draw a line down the middle. And in the left column, I want you to write activities you find you doing that are the most productive. So that's the left side. Activities you find yourself doing that are the most productive. And then on the right side, activities you find yourself doing that are not productive. So I want you to give me examples of activities you find yourself doing that are productive. So share those in the chat thread, or you can unmute yourself, but shoot out activities that you're doing that are productive. Okay, reach outs for sure. Yep, it's definitely growing your business. That's action. What else? Follow-ups, reach outs, yep. Belly to belly. Okay, I'm gonna get into belly to belly in just a minute, Mindy, too. Okay, now I want you to type in the chat thread activities you find yourself doing that are not productive. Social media, wormhole, scrolling. Yep, okay. So, yes, scrolling. And I think lots of times we find ourselves scrolling on social media and we end up just comparing ourselves to other people and their posts and reading what other people are commenting. There's no income producing activity in that, none. So you need to recognize things that are getting you out of alignment and things that are getting you into action. And I want to go back to what Mindy said about the coffee update or coffee meetings that were belly to belly. So sometimes those belly to bellies, yes, those are super important, but make sure you really are getting to what you want to do. You're not just having like catch up time. How have you been? Oh my gosh, crap. You know what? I have to actually run to my next meeting. I was totally going to talk about Isagenix. Shoot, maybe next time, or I'll shoot you some information. Like, make use of that time. If you're going to meet somebody, you only have a certain amount of time. You genuinely care about them, but you're getting into what you're really supposed to be doing with Isagenix. Does that make sense? It's very easy to get off track, and then you're left with 5 minutes to try to cover everything you were supposed to cover. So staying focused, okay? Number 4 is crushing your procrastination. So crushing your procrastination. So for me, I have to have a list of things that I need to get done, however many you're comfortable with. So whether it's 5, if you feel like 5 is too many to get done, start with 1, then go to 2, then go to 3, 4, 5. But the top 5 things you actually want to get done in that time, and become a do it now person. Okay, I think lots of times we spend so much time thinking about it, but not do it. Just become a do it. You know, you're thinking about that person you kind of want to reach out to, or you should reach out to, and they've been on your list. Just do it. Just flip and do it. No, you're not going to hurt anyone. You're not going to offend anyone. Just do it. Quit holding yourself back. You don't have time for it. And you just always have to remember we have an amazing gift to share. So have your list of how you want to, or the 5 things you want to do. And if 5 is too many, 3, whatever you're comfortable with, but have that. And that's non-negotiable. You have to get those things done. Mary, what did you say? Question number 3?
Yeah. So I'm questioning, getting back to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
How would you handle, so I am one of those information junkies, and
Mm-hmm.
I find myself, being on Del Rey's page, being on Angelique's page, being on Emily's page, and it's all great because it's information that's super helpful, but man, that can suck up all my time. So what would you just recommend? Because I feel like I'm going to miss out if I don't watch those so that I can keep learning, but
No,
it's
you can
hard for me to
totally.
find a balance.
So I would watch those or have them playing when you're driving. I like if I'm working out on my way to and from things is when I'm listening to those things. Those aren't part of my block time ever. Does that make
Okay.
sense to me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5, staying on track is number 5. So you just have very, very clear daily goals. So let's say your weekly goal this week is to hit the 5 cycle bonus. So then, well, there are 7 days in a week. If you each day try to increase your cycles by 1 each day, you're going to hit the 5 cycle bonus. So you just have to know what your goal is very clear. You have to state that. And having a running mate is something I was told. So you have someone to help hold you accountable that you're checking in with, but they should not be financially linked to you. I know that sounds funny, right? They should not be financially linked to you because that's different. It should be somebody not linked to you that's just going to hold you accountable. And then how do you hold yourself accountable? Okay. Maybe there's positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement. I tend to do better when I have negative reinforcement. So, hey, I said today I was going to accomplish this. And if I didn't do it, you get to pick this, whether it's with your spouse or somebody else. Think of it as actually Hayden Baver was talking about this. He's like, think of something you can't stand, like a company you can't stand or people you can't stand. And if you don't do what you say you're going to do, you're going to have to donate $200 to them. Maybe negative reinforcement isn't your thing, but wow, does that push you, right? Just think about that. Or your spouse, play a game with your spouse. Like, if I don't do what I say I'm going to do this week, here's my goal this week. And if I don't hit that, you get to blah, 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 or I have to do blah, blah, blah. But it's somebody you're not financially linked to help you be responsible, hold each other accountable. And that's the thing with this is you don't have a boss. You are your boss. So who are you checking in with to actually be accountable? At the end of the day, you're like, whoops, I didn't do those reach outs. Oh, well, I don't have to report that to anyone. I don't have a boss. So it's all on you, and that's your choice. But you won't grow by not doing it. So it's nice to have that person that you check in with that holds you accountable. And I have someone that I check in with, and we're not financially linked at all, but she's just a great person. And it's nice to have that support and questions. And it's not like we talk a ton for hours a day, but just, hey, checking in. Did you do what you said you're going to do? Oh, tomorrow you said you're going to do this. Okay, I just want to check in. How'd that go? That type of thing. Yeah. So that was the 5 things I wanted to go over. I just feel all of us, and this is across all areas of life, so many people are just playing at half of their potential. No one's playing at their full potential. I don't know many people that play at their full potential. And I think we all could do a better job at playing and upping our potential instead of playing at half potential. And right now, this is the time we build and we build and we build, and things are going to take off in the new year. It always does. This is when it just happens. It gets crazy. So planting those seeds, doing your reach outs, adding value to people. I had a conversation with a gal on a different team today, and she was talking about events and getting people to events and asking just verbiage of how I invite people. And I just talked about if you're inviting people to an event and it's just an event where they're going to come learn, they're not going to come. They're probably not even going to respond to you. And if you just think you're going to post on social media a flyer and they're going to show up, it's not going to happen. It has to come from your heart. It has to be a genuine reach out. And you have to add value. So like our make and take that we did last night in Alexandria, that was super fun. And I feel like it's adding value to people's lives. They're coming, but they're getting to interact with people. They're getting to make energy balls. We had prizes. We collected food items for the food shelf. So what else could we do as a team, or you could do with your team, however you want to do it? Maybe you do an event and it's a make and take, or it's any type of event you want, and any of the proceeds go towards Make-A-Wish, or it goes towards whatever charity you want. Right now it could have been, we should have done this. Everybody bring a kid's toy and we donate it or something to families in need for Christmas. Think of how we can do something good for others instead of, hey, come, why don't you learn about shakes and cleansing? You're going to love it. They're not going to want to come. But everybody wants to feel and be part of something bigger. So yeah, just playing bigger, doing bigger things. Do you guys have any questions about those top 5 that I said? Anything at all? Okie dokie. All right, I'm cutting this really short tonight. I have to get on the phone with my mom and sister. So anything else I should be covering right now? The 16th, 3 p.m. at my house for those of you that are coming. And I think that is it. If you have anything else,
Saturday, what? Krista? You want us to bring any? Do you want us to bring anything?
Just yourself. Just
okay.
Come. Mm-hmm. I would bring, I'm sure she will want to go over some stuff, so I'd probably bring just paper and pen or something like that.
Okay.
But nope, I don't think so. If I think of something, I'll let you guys know. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. I do that all the time, but I can't remember. Okay, 3-way calls, Zooms. If you didn't watch the Fast Track to Executive call that I did on that, I gave verbiage of how to say it, what to say, examples. I went over the whole cost conversation. Watch that video. I can post it in our thread. So, all right, you guys, I got to get going. Have a really good night. Catch you guys later.